So I've got Mr. Kenneth Lamons and Ethan Glidewell of Medicare Millennials. Maybe you've seen their YouTube channels. If you haven't, click to subscribe or go subscribe at their channel after this video. We're here today because we're talking about a boot camp that we're mutually hosting. Well, I'm helping promote. They're hosting. They're putting together that we've done a number of times. It's been an outstanding success, a remote virtual Medicare-focused boot camp, and they're here today to tell us a little bit more about how it works. So if you're a Medicare agent just about to start and selling Medicare, maybe you went through AEP and you want to continue to sell Medicare, make sure you stick around and listen to this because this is exactly what you need as far as training from real live agents who are out there crushing it. So let's start by a little bit of an introduction before you get into the course. So Kenny and Ethan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So some of you may follow us on our YouTube channel. My name's Kenny Lamons. Kind of what sets us apart is we are in the field agents. We are both selling Medicare policies over the phone and face-to-face on a more or less a daily basis. So we're not, a 90-year-old recruiter who says 50 years ago, this is what I used to do. We're out in the trenches with you. And we've been in the business. I've been in the business for 8 years now. I sold Medicare supplements and final expense, which led me to Medicare Advantage about 3.5 years ago. And that has completely changed my life. So while we are beating the streets doing that every day, we also like to share some of what's worked and what hasn't worked for us, which is why we do this workshop.
Yeah, and Ethan Gladwell here. Like Kenny had mentioned, I've been in right about 7 years. And guys, we have sold everything when it comes to insurance. We've sold annuities, final expense, cancer, dental, vision, med subs, and Medicare Advantage. And guys, like Kenny had mentioned, we stuck with Medicare because it is life-changing money. Once you find a system that works, and we want to invite you guys to and show you everything that we've learned over the last 7 and 8 years, teach you things that we haven't done correctly, as well as all the things that we have done correctly. So I'll hope to see you guys there.
So who is this? I'm calling it the Medicare OEP sales boot camp. Specifically right now is open enrollment period. Soon after the special election period. This is probably the time of year when less agents are selling because maybe their focus is in AEP. But there's plenty of opportunity right now to be making sales, and really you should be working it. So Kenny or Ethan, jump in and kind of describe what are the benefits to attending this particular one-day, again, virtual Zoom-based boot camp. What are agents going to take away from this?
I would almost argue that OEP is probably the prime time, even over AEP, to really start the business. Kenny and I started during AEP. We really used that time to really learn the system that we were working on implementing. And then come OEP, we were on fire, guys. So right now, I think that the barrier to entry is significantly lower during OEP than any time of the year. Less agents are working. Most have taken their check and have gone on vacation. This is the time that we pounce. This is the time that we write probably the most business throughout the year. So I think this is a more important time than ever.
Yeah, I would also just add to that, we sell Medicare year round. And I would say OEP is probably the most fruitful for what Ethan talked about. But what we're going to go over in this workshop, well, we try not to be a jack of all. We're going to focus in on 2 to 3 strategies that we have used that have been super effective for us that allow you to sell Medicare year round. So AEP, OEP, and the months in between. And this isn't generic information. The reason that we host a small group is so that we are able to go into detail, like here is specifically the leads that we use during this time of year. Here's the marketing strategies we use this time of year. And we don't just go over marketing, we go over sales process. What we won't teach is individual carriers and plans. Okay, that's something, if you're interested in this, you're going to be learning through AHIP and through carrier certifications. So we don't want to teach you like one niche plan. We're going to teach you how to sell Medicare in general, what that presentation looks like. So if that kind of clarifies.
Yeah, and we've had this confusion sometimes. So you guys help correct me if I'm misstating anything. This is about learning how to sell and use a blueprint that's been proven to be successful for both of these guys to sell Medicare Advantage, et cetera. This is not about learning how Medicare works. This is not about learning the carriers. Is that right? So everybody's clear here. Like
Correct.
this is
You've
the
got a
missing
little-
link. Like this
Yeah.
stuff that we're teaching you here, guys, is the missing link. You get enough of the other stuff just by default when you go through AHIP, when you go through the carrier certification. You don't need anything extra. What you really need is an action plan to put the stuff together. One preferably like with these guys that have actually been proven to work and are actually working on it. So a couple of things come to mind here. First of all, the date of this, you'll see the date of this event. It should be beneath this video or commented in below. So make sure you check on when that's going to be. If you can't make that date, it will be recorded. Yes, you will be able to get the recording. If for some reason you can't make it, that's always a common question. Another thing, of course, Kenny and Ethan, is that there's a lot more remote-based agents in this business now, right? They don't want to go see people in person. They want to sell exclusively over the phone. Is what you're teaching meant for them?
Yeah, I think I'll take this one, Kenny. And the answer is yes. Guys, 2020 and half of 2021 was my real growth year where I learned my system that was face-to-face. And in 2021, I went over the phone. And so really all that I've done is I took everything that I did during face-to-face sales and I implemented with a few tweaks on how to do it over the phone. So yes, absolutely. If you're considering or already selling Medicare over the phone, this is also for you.
And I would mention we will share specifically like what are some of the tools that you need to sell over the phone. For instance, dialer, like how are you going to record calls and that type of thing. But what we won't do, because Ethan and I always want everybody to know exactly what they're getting into. We're not the compliance director for CMS. Okay, so there's been new rules come along for phone sales that we're glad to have conversations and help you navigate. But ultimately, you've got to do a little digging on that side of things as well. So
Medicare can be sold, of course, with a paid lead system as well as other strategies. Is this just for agents who are wanting to buy their leads and then run appointments over the phone or in person? Or are you going to teach any sort of non-paid type of strategies?
Yeah. So first and foremost, Ethan and I believe that for most new agents who need to gain as much experience and cash flow as possible, a paid lead source is going to give you the most stability and the highest chance of success early on. However, we spend a lot of our time, effort over the past couple of years implementing non-paid revenue to generate Medicare business. And I will go through that extensively. Some of that I cover topically on my channel, Medicare Millennials, but I will go through the nitty gritty of what's worked best for me, how long it took for some of those non-paid lead sources to become consistent and to generate quality prospects for you every single month. But those two things I don't consider them exclusive. Like you should have a consistent, stable paid lead source unless you really don't care how long it takes you to get started. And then you transition over time into these really awesome organic ways of generating Medicare business. So that's the best answer for that.
So while you're saying here, you both y'all certainly believe paid leads is the place to be for a new agent, you're going to share with the audience and attendance the free ways, if you will, that you can generate leads and not necessarily buy leads if for some reason, let's say somebody couldn't afford them. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We'll give away what we do currently as far as any of our free marketing, but we're also going to show them everything that we have done and are also still currently doing with paid leads. We give it all away. We show you exactly what we're using step by step, A to Z, to ensure your success.
Now, you mentioned Medicare Advantage. There are some agents out there who don't like Medicare Advantage, or maybe they're more concerned about getting Medicare supplements. To what extent are you going to train both sides of the sales process when it comes to Medicare Advantage or Medicare supplement?
Go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, we actually started with Medicare supplements, so we're very knowledgeable with those. And in fact, Kenny and I talk daily about how much we still love those and love that clientele. I'm going to tell you guys that really the sales process for Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplements are very close. We're going to have a little bit more focus on Advantage, but we're more than happy if somebody is interested in talking about that. We can spend a little bit more time, and that's why we keep these classes so small and so intimate, is because we can kind of tailor it to what the class needs and wants. But yeah, go ahead.
And to add to that, so we will go over the sales, the general sales process for both Medicare Supplement and Advantage. If you're using paid lead sources, they will tend to generate far more Medicare Advantage clients. If as your business matures and we teach you how to generate referrals and free non-paid lead sources, your mixture will become closer to 50-50 depending where you're at in the country. And so you do have to be able to present both of those options to be successful in our model.
So is this something that's relevant as far as this one-day boot camp that's done on Zoom? Do you think somebody who's newish to Medicare, maybe they did AEP and just kind of was like a whirlwind of information, maybe they just started recently, is this something that they would find immediately relevant and actionable to attend and get information from that they could use on their own?
Absolutely. We're going to give everybody who attends this class role-playing training. Okay, so we're going to role play the most core key scripts that every new and even mature. We've had a lot of agents that are not new that have used some of our scripts and said, wow, this would have been a lot easier had I been using it all along. So we do a lot of role playing, which is good for new agents as well as mature agents who are just looking to improve, or maybe they have a background in final expense or MedSup only and they want to expand into Medicare and Medicare Advantage. It's going to be useful to them. We are in that unique spot where we're new enough that we know how important it is to give you what a new agent needs. We're far enough along to have seen some of the benefits and experience some of the trial and error for you. So even an agent that's already going is going to be able to get a lot of value from this class.
So you're saying the script wise, y'all are going to share your script. Is that correct?
We do share our scripts with
awesome.
Anybody who buys this class. They will get our scripts as well as an entire folder of just stuff that Ethan and I have created, sales templates, needs assessments. I even include a seminar PowerPoint presentation that you probably won't use day one, but man, it's a wealth of knowledge to have as you grow. Maybe do that later on.
Anything else you want to hit on here as far as benefits of the course, who this is appropriate for, what they're going to learn, anything we've missed here we want to make sure we cover before we wrap it up?
I think we've hit everything pretty close. Dave, you said something a minute ago that you got to do a little bit of legwork. You can't not know what a Medicare is, right? This isn't maybe for somebody that just found us on YouTube yesterday and this isn't a very beginner's course. You got to be familiar with it. So as long as you're licensed, I would say, as long as you're familiar with the process. And then again, from that very beginning all the way to somebody's experience, we have guys that were writing 200 a year that we've brought to 600 a year. And we've had guys that have written 0 and we've brought up to several hundred. So again, I just can't stress enough how this could be for anybody and everybody that's out there helping with Medicare.
And also I want to point out that this template, what we're going to teach you, can be for both somebody who is more than happy selling 100 to 200 plans a year, or it is easily scalable up into several high hundreds of policies per year.
Yep.
And I would like to point out that even if you're a newer agent and you've already chosen an FMO that you think you're going to work with, this class does not require you to sign your contracts with us. So you're going to be able to come get this value. We give you the farm for paying for and attending this course. And you're still going to be able to, you're not going to mess with the relationship that you have with whatever upline you're currently using. So don't let that scare you away.
So wait, this isn't a cattle call recruiting event?
Nope.
No.
Guys, it never has been. This is probably what, 4th or 5th one we've done in like 2 or 3 years. And it's always well received. One of my best agents last year who did 275 Medicare Advantage plans during AEP, so that's 7 weeks out of the year, attended this course before we started Medicare Advantage. I think it's been 2 years. So I know this works. It's actionable. And the great thing is it's such a great deal. You don't have to trade contracts out. You don't have to move over at all. That's not what this is about. This is just Kenny and Ethan's way to help you guys get a system in place that now you are excited about selling Medicare and the product itself. Now you have a process to put in place to actually find people, explain it to them in a way they understand, and convert them in the clients so that they're happily with you and you're happily making money off of them.
And
So-
just to let you know real fast, just to break that down, guys, 7 weeks of AEP, writing nearly 300 plans, not including any new to Medicare or anything. That's just a little over $90,000 that he made in 7 weeks.
Yeah, for a very low investment, that's the kind of return that we're getting here, guys. And so let's talk about next steps. So you're interested in this, you want to do this, you're wondering what the next steps are. First of all, if you are ready to buy, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a link. Click that link in the description or in the comment box. It's going to take you to a landing page. You're going to see the same video. If you're already seeing that video on the landing page, you're already where you need to be. Beneath that video, there's going to be something like a button or a link that says click here to buy your ticket. When you click there, you'll see the price. You'll see what it's running for. Very important. Please listen. Make sure you put into the coupon box OEP. OEP. After you select at least one ticket, and that's going to take $500 off your ticket price instantly before you purchase. So you guys have until, it looks like Friday, let's see, February 10th, in order to make that purchase. Then the discount goes away. So there is a deadline to it. You've got to put it in. Again, OEP at the discount box. You should be able to see it if you're on the landing page. Click that link below. Or if you're on YouTube, click the link, then you'll get to the landing page and you'll see how to go from there. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to this event. It's always a great turnout and it's always a great opportunity for those who attend. And thank you guys for being willing to host us. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
having
us.
us.